Welcome to U.S. Daily News Brief, your reliable source for the top 7 stories shaping American politics, the economy, and tech. We cut through the noise to bring you clarity, context, and insight, all in one digestible update. My name is Emery, and as always, here in the studio with me is Jordan.
Glad to be here, Emery. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share, and comment below. Hop on and ride with us. Please support independent media. Let's dive into today's headlines. Let's kick things off with politics.
Court strikes down most Trump tariffs. A U.S. federal appeals court has ruled that the majority of President Trump's global reciprocal tariffs are unconstitutional, finding that his invocation of emergency powers exceeded the limits of presidential authority, especially given the lack of a true national emergency. The decision will take effect on October 14th, giving the administration time to appeal to the Supreme Court. Trump pushed back, warning that overturning the ruling could destroy the country. This case marks a significant judicial check on executive trade power, setting the stage for a constitutional showdown with major implications for trade policy, markets, and how much a president can reshape economic levers unilaterally. Back to you, Jordan.
Proceeds. CDC, shakeup and resignations. Spark alarm. Following the firing of CDC Director Susan Monterez, reportedly over disagreements with Health Secretary RFK Jr., top officials including Drs. Deborah Hurry, Daniel Jernigan, and Demetre Daskalakis resigned in protest, citing the weaponization of public health. Kennedy then appointed his deputy Jim O'Neill as acting director. Public health experts warn this politicized turmoil jeopardizes the agency's credibility just when it matters most, with trust and preparedness cornerstones in any future health crisis. Emery, what's up with foreign aid?
Well, Jordan, Trump freezes $4.9 billion in foreign aid via pocket rescission. In a move raising constitutional alarm, President Trump used a rarely employed pocket rescission tactic to cancel $4.9 billion in foreign aid without Congress's approval. Lawmakers from both sides argue this circumvents the legislative branch's control over spending. The clash deepens institutional tensions and could threaten U.S. global commitments if not resolved, especially as Congress prepares for hearings to reinstate appropriations or challenge the legality of the action. Jordan, now on the economic front.
Markets tense, ahead of PCE inflation data. Wall Street is approaching record highs, but markets pulled back today ahead of this week's PCE inflation report. Core inflation has marginally risen, and Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller, widely believed to be next Fed chair, has signaled support for a rate cut if data softens. Still, strong Q2 GDP growth and job data may complicate the Fed's decision. The stakes are high. PCE will steer interest rate expectations and drive investor sentiment. Back to you, Emery.
Consumer spending surges, but inflation lingers. U.S. consumer spending rose a stronger than expected 0.5% in July, the best uptick in several months. But services inflation continues to climb, particularly in dining out and healthcare. Economists warn that while spending demonstrates resilience, persistent inflation could delay rate cuts. The Federal Reserve faces the challenge of recognizing economic strength while managing inflationary risks. Now, Jordan, how is the dollar performing?
Dollar weakens on rate cut optimism. The U.S. dollar is down nearly 2% this month as markets increasingly price in a rate cut from the Fed. A weaker dollar makes exports more competitive, but risks higher import costs and inflation. Analysts caution that any perceived political interference with the Fed could undermine global confidence in the dollar, raising strategic concerns for America's financial leadership. As the tech industry grows, let's see what Emery has for us.
Thank you, Jordan. U.S. government becomes Intel's largest shareholder. In a landmark move, the U.S. government is set to acquire a 9.9% stake in Intel, making it the company's largest shareholder. Framed as protecting vital chip manufacturing and obtaining taxpayer value, the deal has alarmed many who view it as a step toward state capitalism. Critics argue that while national security concerns justify some oversight, direct government ownership risks distorting competition, and could be a Pandora's box for future public-private involvement across sectors. And that wraps up today's U.S. Daily News Brief, packed with detail, context, and a calm lens on the news that shapes your world.
If you found today's briefing insightful, hit like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment telling us which story matters most to you.
Thanks for riding with us. Come back tomorrow for another round of clear, comprehensive coverage. Stay sharp.